we talk about local GEO, we're talking about structured factual content. So what does that mean? This is a really good example of a screenshot from ChatGPT from that clear aligners, and it's literally structural factual content when we talk about looking at these different types of, I don't like calling them queries, it's more of like conversation, right? These different types of conversational queries that people would be asking for when they're going through this process. One of those things is going to be cost, time, pros, cons, right? These are all pulling. You can see these little citations in here: Allure, Healthline, Colgate, New York Post, Dental and Orthodontics. They're pulling all this information and putting it into these very clean, digestible charts for people to understand. That's what this structured content refers to inside of ChatGPT. And you can see these citations. These are the equivalent of rankings. When we talk about SEO, we talk about rankings, those blue links or positions inside of Google that are very linear. Citations are basically showing up inside of these queries, inside of these conversations as a citation, like a citation in a white paper or that you used to write in high school, right? Like the citing the source. So when we talk about citing the source, how do we get cited as a source? Well, we need the right content because they're pulling in this content and they're using it to citation. So yeah, Google cares about NAP consistency in reviews, but ChatGPT and these LLMs go further, looking at fact-based structured information that they can ingest and reuse in answers. So if you have too much sales copy, if you have too much fluff on your website, you're not going to get pulled through here, right? Like you actually need to do some research and put together data, lists, Q&A is important, and stats. And we just have to think about this, right? Like it's not keyword query based content, like clear aligner near me, stuff like that. It's much more conversational in the nature of how people are arriving at these results. And that's very important, right? We have to use our minds more than tools. We think about how people would be conversating and putting together this conversational type data content in order to show here, right? So we talk about examples of factual content. How long do I have to file a personal injury claim? Step workers' comp guide, stats, sites. Putting these together are really, really important. Like a page full of like data for 2026, updated, blah, 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 whatever that looks like, and just pulling together these different citations and data. Again, you might look at this and say like, I do this, man. This is just SEO content. Exactly, right? That's where I'm getting. That's what I'm getting to. We're going to get there. Don't worry. That this is not going to require you to rebuild your entire agency. The point of this here is that you can start offering this right now without having to rebuild your entire process. You just have to be a little bit more mindful. We have to tweak your process. We don't have to change your process.